in the 25th Separate Sikislav Airborne Brigade of the 7th Rapid Response Corps of the Air Assault Forces. Women carry out combat missions on par with men. Under enemy fire, they operate strike and reconnaissance drones on the hottest Pokrovsk front. Watch our report. Throughout the story, there will be a QR code and a card number on the screen, so join in and support our paratroopers, both men and women. They are in urgent need of funds to purchase the most essential equipment for the front line.
The Spitz is small. Subscribe to the channel and give us a like.
You don't often see women in combat units. Britnina, callsign Pseudobug, captain in the Canadian Army. Since the start of the full-scale invasion, she has been training Ukrainian soldiers to operate the Leopard 2 tank. Later, she decided that she had to be where her skills would be most useful to the armed forces of Ukraine.
Everyone told me no. No to a tank crew position. 2 reasons. The main one was the language. Because at that time, I didn't speak Ukrainian. And the second was, of course, that I'm a woman. A woman in a tank, not a chance. The 25th gave me a chance to sign a contract. A tanker. And I worked in the tank. I learned very quickly. T-80.
On her very first day in combat, the girl destroyed a concentration of enemy infantry.
The tank commander gave me the precise coordinates, and I was quickly in position. I fired the shot, and we successfully destroyed the entire train station where the enemy forces were hiding. It was my very first day out in the field, and I managed to hit the target perfectly. That was a really cool and memorable moment for me.
When heavy armored vehicles on the battlefield gave way to drones, Brittany learned to pilot FPVs.
It's adrenaline for me, when everything is exploding, when the drones are spinning. At that moment, I was really scared, of course, like everyone else. I'm afraid too. But once that brief moment has finally passed, I already feel a strong urge to go back and do it all over again. I truly wanted more time spent at the very front, and I found myself wishing for much more time out there on those missions.
In the same platoon serves Malika, who in civilian life worked with children with autism. Now she pilots a Reconnaissance Mavic.
Back at the training center, everyone told me that no matter how much I wanted it, no one would let me go. There are no women at the positions. You'll be a clerk, you'll be a medic. They believed that no one would take me as a pilot.
But the girl works on par with the guys, and she only just left the position where she had stayed for 17 days. She says the hardest part is getting in and out.
Being at the positions, well, there are some nuances, but you come there to work. There are moments with artillery shelling, with enemy drones, but all of that can be avoided. Our guys who were relieving us, it took them 3 days to get in. We were lucky when we were leaving because there was a very thick fog, really thick. There were hardly any enemy drones, hardly any artillery shelling. Along the route we were taking, that's why we made it out very quickly in just 2 hours. We literally ran those few kilometers.
Masalyot, commander of the UAV platoon. He says he doesn't have girls or guys. All the service members, Brittany and Malika, perform their combat tasks well.
As for the pilots, I can say for sure that a woman can fly any drone, whether it's FPV, reconnaissance, or bombers. Absolutely any of them. The most important thing is that the person has the desire. When there's desire, that's 90% of success. She's full of energy. Brittany crazy.
The girls are also among the first to show initiative. Yes, recently Brittany carried out a difficult evacuation and saved her comrades.
2 wounded soldiers were just sitting there and waiting for their evacuation. And they said that the vehicles simply couldn't get through the area. So we had to carry them out on foot ourselves. We covered 8 kilometers on foot. As we were walking along that path, I distinctly remember that during those very first 10 minutes out on the road, a large vehicle suddenly drove right past us and unfortunately struck 2 landmines. On the 3rd day of our journey, just as we had finally finished the entire route, our driver attempted to pick us up in the late evening. However, he unfortunately couldn't make it to our location because he was suddenly hit by an FPV drone strike. Consequently, we were forced to spend the entire night there, waiting until another driver in a different vehicle could eventually come to pick us up, and that is how we finally got out safely.
The platoon's driver is a Roma. His job is to get the pilots closer to the position under the cover of enemy drones.
She acts like a real man. She is focused and takes this very seriously. always on alert. Good job, girl. I didn't expect it, but well done. Girls also perform tasks like being a pilot. They are fully capable of it.
The technological nature of modern warfare is gradually erasing the boundaries between men and women. Now women serve not only as clerks and medics, but are also successful in combat units. And the female pilots of the 25th Brigade of the 7th Rapid Response Corps of the NGU are a vivid example of this. Anna Ruda, Alexander Dovhan, especially for ICTV Facti. United News.